Hey, we're back. This sucks because again, OBS is continuing to stream, but I'm still getting disconnected. So we're just gonna end up with very disjointed videos and it's gonna kick people off every time. Howdy. Um, I have an unstable connection. I'm very upset. It's fucking my shit up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll probably all get kicked off in a second. I don't know how to fix it. My internet connection is fine. My laptop is plugged in. I'm using my internal camera and microphone. I've streamed here before and never had this problem. I closed out OBS, ended the stream, closed down my browser. Is it? Okay, maybe it's Twitch then. Do you think? Wow. Oh, okay, so not the same thing. Got it. Yeah, this sucks. I don't remember the last time I had an unstable connection. I'm thinking it was literally 3 years ago, to be honest. So I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but it's also, my view is blocked by OBS. I guess I could make this smaller. Don't. So I can see if it's, oh, actually I can't make it smaller, or, yeah, I don't think I can make it smaller. I can make it bigger, I can't make it smaller. I can scoot it over. No, what? Okay. I don't know what I did. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you rated me in 30 minutes. I usually chat for a little while before I start tarot, so in 30 minutes I'll probably be doing tarot. It does suck that the connection is so unstable, so hopefully they don't all get kicked off, but I'll be here. Thanks, buddy. Cool. Sweet. I haven't been rated in. Actually, somebody rated me a couple months within the last 2 months. Since I started streaming again, I did get rated by Kitty something Tarot. I don't remember. Something Kitty Tarot. Something like that. Yeah. I really fucked up the pinky too. It's starting to lift and it hurts like a motherfucker. And these bitches are fucking long. So every time I use this, I should just take them off. But I love having nails, and I was hoping they'd be on for my gig Saturday, but might not happen. Might not happen. They're so damn long, and I usually have long nails. I've had these press-ons before, and I did not have this problem. But I guess it was probably because I was schwasty, white girl wasty. You know, I'm guessing I really fucked it up. So living with it. Damn, did I disconnect and reconnect again? This is so crazy. I'm really annoyed. Because that time it didn't even show on my screen that it disconnected, but Stream Elements chat just popped up. So, what's that about? And you already know I'm not about to edit these videos together. I'm just gonna have a bunch of little ones. People love watching short videos on YouTube anyway. My shortest little outtake videos have the most views of all my videos, which is, yeah, it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, so maybe we've talked about this before. I use Finch and I love it. I love my little burb. I love that so many of my friends have the app and I'm friends with them and we send each other vibes every day and get our outfits together, decorate our rooms. I love Finch. Could not recommend it enough. But I have a lot of tea. Like I have a tea, no, literal tea. So I put it on my Finch list to have a of tea every day. And this is the first day since I put it on my list that I'm actually having one. My grandpa picked this mug out for me. So cute. Motor City girl. I love him. I usually see him like 1 to 3 times a week, but I haven't been seeing as much, so I was thinking about him. Yeah. I'm having, it is Tazo. I'm not sure why I have Tazo. I probably bought it on sale or someone gave it to me. It's old. I feel like tea doesn't really go bad. That's the point of tea. But I'm trying to get, I got, my bestie sent me a box full of tea. And I don't mean a box full of tea, I mean a box full of tea. So I'm trying to get through all my old tea so I can start drinking my new tea. So this is old, but it tastes as good as Tazo ever would. I'm not a huge fan of Tazo. This isn't bad. I just generally, whenever I've had Tazo, I thought it was really bland, not that great. So, not the best chai. Whatever. I also have these strawberries. Some of them were definitely moldy, but I was raised by an Italian woman who immigrated here when she was just a child. And she taught me to pick around that shit. So I ain't scared. I'm not throwing away all these fucking strawberries. They look okay. And the thing about strawberries is I like them super sweet. I love a really sweet strawberry. I don't really like hard tart strawberries as much. But the thing about super sweet, soft strawberries is that they are like 1/2 step away from being completely rotten. But they're so good when they're about to go. That's why I was like, oh, these are probably actually perfect. But I don't think they'll make it till morning. That one's a little firm tart. So I'm just checking every single one. And this one's definitely questionable. But I kind of want to eat it because I know it'll be really tasty. Let's get a better light on it. Yeah, we're going to skip that one. But we're going to eat that one. Yeah. It's all right. And I'm almost done with my book. I have one more chapter. Going Home, Jesus and Buddha as Brothers by Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm not sure how to say his name. Not even entirely sure who he is. I've got the impression he's a Buddhist monk, and I've definitely heard his name, or at least seen him be quoted before, but I don't really know who he is. And my friend, Dom Rocks, we all know Dom Rocks, he said he's cool, because I told him about the book, because he's Buddhist, so I got excited to share. So, pretty valid source. See, this is what I'm fucking talking about. This bad boy, you probably can't really see it. That is basically rotten, but it's not moldy yet, and so I know it's gonna be delicious. So good. I'm a weirdo. Same with this one. It's dark. It's getting soft. That's how you know it's gonna be sweet. This book is pretty good. I feel really peaceful when I'm reading it because you're reading about Buddhism and you're reading about like real Christianity. But I will say, I'm sure conceptually it's a pretty cool idea, but the book itself, not really about Jesus. I mean, it's barely talked about Jesus. It's mostly the teachings of Buddhism. And it mostly goes into who the Buddha was and um, like the principles of Buddhism and things like that. It's not really about Jesus. He mentions the Bible a couple times. He talks about the disciples like once. He has barely talked about Jesus in this book. But it also takes place around Christmas, and they talk about celebrating Christmas and how it's Buddhist to celebrate Christmas. I don't know. And he's made some comparisons where he's like, yeah, they're very similar. Real Christianity is a lot like fake Buddhism, basically. But no, it's not really about Jesus, which is fine. I know enough about Jesus and I don't know as much about Buddhism. This is like the perfect looking strawberry, isn't it? So adorable. So I'm glad to be learning about Buddhism. One of my biggest hangups with Buddhism is that everything they talk about is obviously in a different language. Not everything, but the main principles and we all know the word nirvana, but I'm trying to remember, there's like the Sangha. I don't know, and then really long words that I'm like, I have no idea how to say that. And I have a hard time remembering them. So I feel like it would be really hard to actually learn Buddhism. But this book is making me want to be a Buddhist. However, I'm really into desire and suffering. So I don't know if I can do it. Let me quit smoking and vaping before I decide. Would I never get drunk again? I don't know. Could I never get drunk again? Yeah. Do I want to never get drunk again? No. So, I don't know. But the way I feel so peaceful reading about Buddhism is what inspires me to want to be Buddhist. Where I'm like, damn, yeah, they're onto something. Oh, our fucking connection stabilized. That's amazing. God is great. They also compare the dimensions of God being the same with Buddhism and Christianity, but again, the book really doesn't touch that much on Christianity or Jesus, which is fine. It's fine. I went to Catholic school. I'm good on that. But I was looking forward to them being more closely, not being more closely related, but him relating them. And I just didn't get what I wanted out of it. So I have one more chapter. It's only 6 chapters, but the chapters are all 30 to 40 pages long. And sometimes if I'm reading a book with long chapters, like Blitzed was like that, most books that do have long chapters have breaks in the chapters. Let the child be born to us. That's chapter 3. So yeah, like this is a subtitle in the chapter where it's just broken up like that. As you can see. So sometimes if I'm reading a longer book, I'll stop at those breaks to know where I left off and not read the whole chapter. But with this book, I was very inspired to sitting down and reading an entire chapter at a time when I was reading it. I just wanted to do it that way. So I did probably have time to read the last chapter earlier, but I was doing other things. Pardon me. I was doing other things. I did Duolingo for like 45 minutes. I know Duolingo's bad. They use AI. They fired a lot of their linguists in favor of AI, but I hate AI. When I Google something, I put minus AI after it. I've never used ChatGPT. The only time I used AI is when we made Barbie memes, and I didn't even know it was ChatGPT. Well, not ChatGPT, but I didn't know it was AI till after the fact. I hate AI, but I am on a family plan, so I don't pay for it. Um, so it's a free language learning app for me, and it's cool. I am learning Italian, practicing Spanish, doing my Arabic every day, revisiting math, learning chess, learning music, having a good time. So I do feel guilty that I'm doing it, but it's the one thing I'm doing. Maybe I can convince my family plan to move to a different app, but I don't know any of that. Maybe I'll look into that tomorrow or when I'm in bed tonight. Um, I think that was more or less the updates that I had. I just generally had a good day. I've been complaining about the phone thing to like everyone a lot lately. The past few months, I'm like, it's out of control. I need help, and everyone's like, oh, it's designed to be addictive. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. What they weren't realizing is that I was not getting things done because I was on my phone. So I figured out a way to lock that shit up where certain apps don't work at certain times of day. Freeing. Absolutely fucking freeing. I got so much more done today than I have been doing in a day lately. So that actually works. You just take it away, because I'm trying to get back into making content. Sometimes I make content and then I don't post it. And I'm like, bro, just fucking, it's not hard. Just post it. You don't edit anything anyway. Just post it. And I still don't even do that because I'm just not in the habit of doing it anymore. I might be a little more self-conscious just because I'm older, but I don't know. It's still fun, and I still need more tarot clients, and it's something to do when I'm not streaming because it's so much easier to make like a 5-minute video or less and post it than it is to like set up and stream for an hour. It just is. So my goal was to post like a tarot video once a week and then like a different video once a week. And I did it for probably 3 weeks. And then I stopped doing it. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Again, it's a habit that I need to form, So I figured if I lock the apps, then it's like, okay, you only have this window where you can post something, so use it wisely. Whatever. But yeah. This necklace says love in Braille. Isn't that cool? And it's actually Braille. Like you can feel the bumps. And on the back it says love. I don't know if you can read that. Oh yeah, it's engraved. It's not in color. It's just an engraving. So I really like this necklace. I had a friend that worked for a nonprofit that provides Braille books for blind children. And I did a tour of the facility one time, and they were selling these necklaces, and they had a bunch of different words, and I chose love. So, yeah, I've always been a pink girly. I was like, oh, that's before I was really into pink, but I was like, girl, you still had pink glasses and pink boots and pink everything. You've always loved pink. You're just more in your femininity and you feel more comfortable being more pink than you were. Especially when I was a kid, I was like obsessed with the pink Power Ranger, and I'd split my blocks with my sister because they were pink and purple, and I'd be like, I want the pink ones. And had pink cowboy boots I wore every day, pink poodle skirt I wore all the time. Like, I've always loved pink. I just goes through phases. Even when I was like punk goth, mall punk, mall goth, I was very into the color combination of pink and black. So even though I was like, I'm emo, I want to wear all black, I still was like, but these pink pants are really cool. These pink bracelets are really cool. And yeah, just always kind of been into pink. So that's cute. Um, yeah. So we might get rated. Not me in my real life. Sorry, that maybe seemed a little misleading. But Shamanic said he might come back and rate us. And I feel like I should tell him my connection is stable. And he said I'll check back in 30. It probably has not been 30 yet. So I thought maybe I would wait to do tarot until we were rated. If we got rated, maybe we should hop on. We want to know the connection is stable. Not that my stream depends on a raid. We can do without. I'm not trying to be greedy. But we talked about it, and I told him I would wait to do the tarot. But he's probably still pretty into what he's doing. They're making music. It's actually really cool. I have no idea like what the fuck he uses. Looks complicated. Would love to learn. Um, really cool. Cool. Oh, they shouted me out. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Anyway, I'm really excited to keep reading. I am probably gonna. I feel like I just. I guess it depends on how late I'm up streaming because it's already kind of late. I don't feel that tired, and I am drinking caffeinated tea. I really want to finish this book tonight, but if not tonight, I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. Um, if y'all want to start tarot, we can, but you have to say you want it if you want me to do it. Otherwise, we'll wait a little longer. A lot of times I will literally talk for like a fucking hour and then be like, oh yeah, I'm here to do tarot. Sometimes I think maybe I should join the just chatting category But I used to do just chatting, and I feel like it was kind of like creepy people would show up and start being harassing. And so I stopped using it. And I was like, I just feel more comfortable and at home in the tarot category, period. So, yeah. Yeah. And also, stream title being Slow Down is because I was talking to my bestie, the one that sent me the tea. And I don't know why Vienna popped in my head. It's been on my playlist because it's been on my mind, so I started listening to it. Now it comes up on my playlist. Because YouTube Music just makes a playlist of songs that you like and listen to. So I have been thinking about it, and a couple months ago, probably was still July, my niece was in my car. She's my best friend, but she's 5, and she'll be 6 really soon. And I just like got in full auntie mode and was like, can I play the song? And she's like, sure. And I played her Vienna by Billy Joel. And I was like, what'd you think? And she goes, I think it's pretty good. And I'm like, thank you. Makes me so happy. Billy Joel makes me think of my aunt. She was a huge Billy Joel fan. Used to see him in concert all the time. Absolutely love Billy Joel. And there's a few songs that remind me of her that aren't Billy Joel, but every Billy Joel song reminds me of her. So Vienna has been my favorite Billy Joel song since high school. Because I had it on my iPod. And I was like, wow, so emotional. That's the thing about me saying emo, is I feel like I was never like a scene kid. But I was always very emotional. Very like moody and, but I also dressed like a hippie most days. So it's just kind of funny. It was a good song for you. It is a good song for your youth. You know what I mean? It just is. So that's why my title is Slow Down. Because I was thinking about Vienna. I was singing it. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. You're so smart. Tell me, why are you still so afraid? Etc. So, yeah, maybe we ought to do some tarot. Such a quiet night. Glad Shamanic did pop in, put a few chats on the board. Because he's the only one. I appreciate the lurkers coming in and out, moving around. I did start really late. I feel like starting late on the weekends is always a hit, but I get like starting late during the week, maybe not so much. But it is already super late. It's crazy, actually, how late it is. I feel like I started earlier than I actually did. But yeah, it's been about an hour already. So we can do some tarot. I just like having people request decks. You know what I don't understand is why people want personal readings on public platforms anyway. And I get that a lot of people have anonymous accounts. They don't use their profile pictures. They don't use their names. Totally get that. But like, why do you want your shit on blast on a public platform? I don't get it. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't get it. And hey, your prerogative. Everybody doing their thing. That's fine. But it just seems weird to me. I can't say that I get it. That's why I just prefer to do general readings. Because, well, actually, that's why it says collective. Somebody pointed that out to me where they're like, they think a general reading is a general reading, not for the general public. And I'm like, that's a good point. Because when I'm doing private readings, I offer people a general reading. So they're like, oh, can I get a general reading? And I'm like, not what that means. But I feel like when you do personal readings on a public platform and even privately, is something that happens is that people will pester you. They will ask a lot of questions. They will hold you up. They will extend their time. They will, I just don't think it's worth it. So I guess we could just reach in the bag and pull it out. Or I'm at home. I could grab a deck I haven't used in a while. They're not close to me, but I can go get one. I think that would be fun. I'm thinking my dream deck would be the choice. Because I actually don't even know how many decks are. I used to use the Daemon deck a lot. And also I think AE was pronounced E back in the day. Daemon is redundant. It's actually just Demon. But I don't know what I did with the booklet, dude. I need the booklet for that deck. And I have no idea what I did with it. And so I might never use it again. I thought about selling it, but I don't think anybody else would be able to use it without the booklet. Because it's literally like 69 individual cards. It's not tarot. It's called Demon Tarot, but it's really Demon Oracle. And the description on the cards is just about the demon. It's not about what they represent. So I feel like that deck is kind of dunzo. I don't know. I liked it too. I liked it for like money and finances and work and economy and stuff. But it's not the same without the book. I don't know what I do with it. Maybe I'll find it someday. I don't know. I think I will go grab that deck. We only have like not even 20 minutes until we have to roll more ads, so I might as well just roll the ads and get back up to an hour. I do suspect I'll be doing a reading with one deck and then calling it because it's kind of late, as mentioned. And I was like, oh, I'm not even tired, and now I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I don't think I could read 30 pages of a book after this. That's very ambitious. I have been watching Harsh Realm. It is free on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it out of the goodness of their heart. It is made by the creator of X-Files, Chris Carter. It is not a spinoff. It has nothing to do with the X-Files. It is similar to one X-Files episode that probably came out after the show. Because I think the episode I'm thinking of is in season 7. And Harsh Realm came out in 1999. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it is a war show. Which I don't know. I have strong feelings about war. I'm against it. Crazy, right? I'm against war. I don't give a fuck what your reason is. Like, war is bad. I saw a reel once of some chick being like, I don't think women should be drafted. Oh, you think that's sexist? Well, I don't think men should be drafted either. I don't think anybody should be drafted. I don't think we should be at war. And I was like, I've never related to anything so much. You made such a good point, man. darling. If you cannot work out your problems civilly with conversation, then you should just be locked up at that point instead of killing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Period. Like, the fuck? If somebody doesn't want you there, leave. Like, we should not be resorting to violence. And I'm not talking about the violence of a one-on-one type situation. I'm talking about the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of people, like, just so we're clear. Yeah. So, anti-war. I think war media really truly desensitizes us to the plight of war. I think it makes us feel like it's normal and even noble. And for that and other reasons, like, I just don't like really watching violence. I think it's rude to make shows and movies about explosions and gunfire that people live through every day, but we as Americans don't experience hardly at all. Well, okay, we experience a lot of gun violence, but not bombs. We never got over the fact that we got bombed 25 years ago. 2,000 people died. And then we used that as an excuse to kill millions of people that we do not honor, we do not revere, we do not care. Which, that in itself is extremely hypocritical. So I just feel like any war content, any war media, when it's fiction, is still propaganda. It kind of is. So I also said a lot of words. I said a lot of words that might get my shit kind of flagged. Sorry. In their bomb, in their bomb, in their guns, in your head, they are dying. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, 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 oh, oh. You know, real as fuck. Real as fuck. So, all that being said, the show's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I dig it. It's only 9 episodes. It's like technically a mini series, and I'm sure somebody he probably just had this idea and wanted to do it, and because, woo, hell yeah! I think with the widely successful X-Files, I think whoever made the show probably was just like, yeah, we'll make this for you, Chris Carter. And they made it, but it's only 9 episodes, and it's free on YouTube. I mean, it's pretty good. I wonder how much of the plot is revealed in the synopsis, because I just said how much I don't like war content, but there is a twist about it that makes it a little bit more tolerable, in my opinion. Oh, okay, so it is in the description, so I wouldn't be spoiling it by telling you this. So it's a game. Oh wow, what's going on? What's going on? Raid, take us to your leader. We come in peace. That's so funny that I'm literally talking about X-Files and you're like, take me to your leader. I really like to meet her. I wasn't talking about X-Files as much as I was talking about Chris Carter's other series from 1999 called Harsh Realm. and it is war. And I think all war content. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the rain. Good. I'm watching Harsh Realm. I'm surprised I'm not having more nightmares because I'll fall asleep watching it. But it is kind of crazy that sometimes I have nightmares that I'm like in. I don't even know. Again, I've been saying a lot of words like war and bomb and shit like that, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get flagged. The NSA is gonna pop up, whatever. I have nightmares that I'll be in Gaza and I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, that was terrifying to experience as fiction in my sleep. And people are living that every waking minute of every fucking day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Where it's like, god damn, dude, that's so wild. It's literally a thing of nightmares. It's my worst nightmares. So I'm surprised that watching this like military show is not giving me nightmares. But yeah. I don't know what that means to refresh your streams. Harsh Realm though, I think I'm about halfway through the series. I think I'm on episode 5 out of 9. It's so fucking interesting. And again, I'm so against like war propaganda, but it's a video game. So it's like, you got me. It's fake. Not only is it fake, but it's fake. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty cool concept for anything. It just happens to be about army dudes or whatever. Thanks for the follows. I don't know why, like, it used to. You should watch it. You should definitely watch it. I'm talking about the other show that Chris Carter made, because Chris Carter made X-Files, but I highly recommend X-Files. I can talk about X-Files like a night. I've only seen the series probably twice all the way through, including watching both the movies twice. And then this second time I watched it all the way through, I watched one of the spin-offs, which is The Lone Gunman. Yeah, oh, that's what I was... Sorry, I'm getting super distracted. I do want to say thank you for the follows, because I noticed my follow count go up, but I don't get notifications for new followers anymore. I'm not sure how or why. I really probably need to study the fuck out of OBS and Twitch in general. But it used to pop up in the chat, and I think that's because I was using Twitch Studio Beta, which I'm still devastated they got rid of. I don't understand why they got rid of it, because I was probably the only one using it, and then I stopped streaming. And so nobody was using it anymore because I wasn't using it. But I loved Twitch Studio Beta. It was so easy, so straightforward. It was like just the most basic streaming platform. You know what I mean? I loved it. I loved it. It was very uncomplicated. But it used to pop up in the chat when someone would follow me, and it doesn't do that anymore. And the only reason I know someone followed me is because you have to be following me to chat. So there's that. And then this time I just happened to notice that the follow count went up. So I appreciate y'all following. Yeah. But The X-Files is 11 seasons, 2 movies, and 2 spin-offs. And one of the spin-offs is not available anywhere online. And it costs like $300 to own it in physical media. And I don't think it's worth it, because it's not really like... There's one episode that references the Millennium Group, which is what the show is about. And so I feel like it is kind of a cop show. Which again, it's propaganda, X-Files itself, they are detectives. They are FBI. So they're basically cops. But They don't work directly with law enforcement very often. I mean, they have to, but they don't work well with them, I should say. So it's kind of funny. It's almost like, you know, whatever. But as detectives, they are pretty much cops. So, whatever. But the Lone Gunmen, the other spinoff, the Lone Gunmen is a group that's in X-Files, and they are in multiple episodes throughout the entire series. So that one's worth watching. It's also free on YouTube, and it's only 14 episodes, which is actually really sad because I think it's a really good show and I really liked it. And I kind of get why it didn't get a second season because they were still making X-Files when they made the Lone Gunmen. And also, I feel like it's a lot goofier and more lighthearted than X-Files, and I think that crowd didn't necessarily exist for that content because fans of X-Files wanted something serious in a way, and that show is not serious. First episode's pretty crazy though. Even if you've never, the thing is, most of the X-Files characters are not even in it or really mentioned in the Lone Gunmen. So you could kind of watch the Lone Gunmen on its own. But you are supposed to kind of wait until season 8 to watch it. But let me tell you, the first episode of The Lone Gunmen, I'm actually going to pull it up. You guys should definitely watch it because it aired, let's see. Sorry, I'm really on a tangent now. I guess you could say that the X-Files is kind of a special interest of mine. Okay. First episode came out March 4th, 2001. Okay. You guys have to watch this episode. Promise me, even if you decide I'm not getting into X-Files, I'm not committing to 11 seasons, 2 movies, and 2 spin-offs. I'm not doing it. Do yourself a favor. Even if it means you stop watching my stream, yeah, sure, tell us a pun. Altruistic, autistic, first-time chatter. Why do I feel like I've seen you before? Maybe somebody else has a similar name. Or maybe you used to follow me and you don't remember why you unfollowed me. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Tell us a pun. Y'all have to watch this episode. You have to watch this episode, dude. It's fucking crazy. Because it came out on March 4th, 2001. That's what you have to remember. Cool. You stream too? Maybe I've seen you in Shamanic's chat actually. That would kind of make sense. That's cute. Shamanic. I'm just calling him shaman. I always say shamanic because it's a shaman, right? But I'm gonna start saying shamanic. That's hilarious. I probably won't do that because it's kind of rude, but that's actually adorable. Yeah, who else streams in the chat? I got the vibe or the information that Witch Cat streams also, maybe not. I don't know. Thought that's what he was saying. And since you're basically all new here, good morning. Good morning, Girly Devil. I love that. Since you're all new here, I'll let you know that what I do on my channel is I control the ads. So instead of the ads popping up and yeah, that'll happen. Instead of the ads popping up randomly during the stream, I pause the stream and roll the ads. That's just how I do it. I don't know if it plays an ad when you join the stream because I do that. I think every stream does that. And I don't know if you are all aware, I'm pretty transparent about this stuff, but once you become an affiliate, you have to run ads. It's not just because I want to make money, it's because they force me to make their sponsors money, basically. So, that being said, 1 minute of ads gets you 20 minutes of ad-free time, and 3 minutes of ads gets you 1 hour of ad-free time. So what I usually do is take a break, a 3-minute break, where we can all get up, get some water, go to the bathroom, get a snack, stop staring at a screen for 3 minutes, whatever, and we roll the ads. Absolutely, that's a very good point. The Maltese, if you will. Not the Maltese, the Maltese. So what I'm trying to say is I have 20 seconds before the pre-roll ads come back on because I've been streaming for an hour. So we're about to take an ad break. But like I said, utilize it. Jump around, smoke a cig, pack a bowl. Like, it's 3 minutes. 1 minute of ads, you just sit through and you're annoyed. 3 minutes of ads, you have the opportunity to utilize that time, just like I'm going to do, by maybe getting a little more hot water for my tea and grabbing a tarot deck that I haven't used in a while. And when we come back, we'll do some tarot. Okay? we are back. Okay, here we are, back again. So I am a tarot reader by day, by trade. It's not full time. It's my part-time gig, IRL. I have a briefcase. It's not really a briefcase. I shouldn't call it a briefcase. It's a bag. It has many compartments. But I carry around 6 or 7 decks with me. So whenever I'm streaming, I have the same decks that I cycle through. So every time I've streamed lately, I've been using the same decks, and I use the same decks when I'm at work. So tonight, even though you're all kind of new and you don't know any of the classic decks, you know what I mean? I'm gonna use a deck I haven't used in a long time, a really long time. But I will give you all the opportunity to pick another deck. So as the memo states, collective tarot readings only. I do this for my own sanity. And I also do this because I think it helps build community. I think it's very eye-opening how sometimes the things we're going through are things that other people are going through too. And I never have so many people on the stream that people get upset or angry about the readings. Most people can relate. Sometimes it'll be some information pertains to one person, some information pertains to other people, but they're collective readings. I did at a very brief point try to do personal readings, but I think I couldn't get the bot to make me a list. I'm really bad at Twitch. I've been on Twitch for maybe 4 years. I never really got the hang of it. I got all these fucking widgets on the website, and then I got the whole OBS system, and I'm just not that good at it. I don't know what I'm doing at all. And I always tell myself, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna study, I'm gonna learn, and then I just like forget to do it. And then the next time I stream, I'm like, damn, you should have sat and learned some Twitch. Like, fuck, practice. But I also think some of that practice would have to be on stream or memorization, because I don't think you can test things out if you're not streaming, you know, where it's like, whatever. So, yeah. Thank you so much. It's been good enough so far, you know, whatever. So, I really, really, really want to start with this deck, because like I said, I haven't used it in a while. But I also want to be able to give you kind of a better introduction by using one of my more common decks. So the rundown is, I have my Thoth deck that I use for general or situational readings, very he said, she said, detail oriented, things that are going on. Gives you the tea, basically. I have my pink deck, which I use for all things love, relationships, soulmate connections, any kind of guidance in dating that you might need. I have my Halloween Oracle that I use for shadow readings, so kind of looking at our negative side and seeing what we can do about it, how to face that, as well as channel messages as a medium. I have my mystery deck, which I use for kind of interpersonal readings. They're very personal. They're about you as a person. They're introspective. They're deep. They're spiritual. They're mystical. They are what I call my gods, goddesses, guides, and galactics deck. We do get some channel messages from the greater beyond. I have my Cosmic Deck of Initiation. It's a little bit my personal favorite. I'm very, very into tarot, and I learned with tarot, and I don't do a lot of Oracle. Halloween is technically Oracle, and the Cosmic Deck of Initiation is also Oracle. And surprisingly enough, one of my Oracle decks is my favorite. It's my mandala cards. They are even more, they're spiritual based. They're not just spiritual, they are spiritual based. They're good for gauging timelines of when things are going to happen. And they're more ideals, values, morals, kind of, and what to work on there. I have my fairy deck. It's new to me. I will admit I don't use it a lot. I don't feel super connected to it. But what I find is that if you're really into fairies, the readings are good for you. If someone's not into fairies and I try to use that deck on them, I have a harder time reading it. But when the person's very into the fae, they are really good readings. So I think should be it. I think that's all of them. Yeah. Yeah. And then this is my Guardian of the Night Tarot. So this is like the intention when I first got this deck, it was gifted to me. So that's another thing about me as a reader. I like used decks. I really like used decks. I think I like that they're already broken in. I feel like they have history. It's not that they're easier to read, but I just prefer reading them. I buy, oh, hey, what's up? Oh yeah, it's Dom. I was like, I feel like I should know who this is. It's Dom. Okay, Dom rocks. Okay. I do really like used decks. And I think I connect better with them when they, well, a lot of them don't come with boxes or booklets. And I famously do not like to use booklets. If I get a brand new deck and I try to be respectful and flip through it, but no, I don't give a shit what it says. I don't read it. That's just how I am. So with a used deck, you usually don't get the booklet. And so I'm like, okay, this is where I'm starting from. This makes sense. This is how it should be. The one deck that I have that I don't read, I'm going to show y'all because you'll think this is Vulcan. I bought this deck used 3 or 4 years ago. I was in Colorado, but I went to Colorado 2 years in a row. So I can't remember if it was, actually, I went to Colorado 3 years in a row. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Sean. Much love. So I went 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. I went to Colorado 4 years in a row. Maybe I didn't go in 2022. I don't remember. I probably didn't go in 2020. No, I really feel like I did. So I bought this used deck. Isn't this sweet? I've always been really into the ancient Egyptian stuff. I don't know why. It's not really in my bloodline as far as I know, or anything like that. I don't know anyone who's ever practiced ancient Egyptian religion, but my first deck was the Thoth deck, and it totally found me. So I feel like there's just always been a connection, especially in regards to tarot. I was working at a shop and blah blah blah. I've told this story so many times. If you want to hear it, I'll tell you, but it's whatever. Thoth deck found me. That's how I learned tarot. Which Thoth is an Egyptian god. So it was always that for me. So when I saw this, I was very drawn to it. But it's very fucking complicated. It's very complicated because it is Egyptian and it's not really tarot. It's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it says oracle, it says an alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. But it is more like tarot because it's numbers and suits. It's just things I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. And I could try to interpret the images like I do with any other deck or whatever, channel it as I would with any other deck. But this one, I actually want to give the time of day to the booklet. It also comes with a die, like at least 9-sided die. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So I've started this book 3 times. I have not gotten through it yet. It is a lot of information. I think I'll have to read it multiple times. It's not something that I would look up in the moment. It's something I want to read all the way through, and then maybe if I still needed the reference, I would, add that to the reading. But I really want to learn this deck. Like I said, I've had it for years. I carry it around with me. I carry the booklet around with me, thinking I'll read it. I never read it. Again, I've had to start it over 3 times because I'll read like a chapter and then I'll go so long without reading it that I'm like, I gotta start over, and then I'll read 3 chapters and I go so long without reading. I gotta like buckle down, hunker down. I'll be reading a lot this winter, I'm sure. So, really excited about this deck. This is like the only booklet I've ever cared about. The rest of them are nothing to me. They really don't matter to me. So, yeah, that's how I learned. I learned how to use decks. So, yeah, I like use decks. Yeah. So, if y'all are curious about any of the decks that I listed, you can say so, and we'll do it. But I am going to read this one. So when I first got this deck, I got it used. That's kind of what I was saying about all this. It was kind of designated for dream interpretation and Akashic records. But when I do the readings, it doesn't really feel like that. But, it could pertain. I think those designations are more for personal readings. And when I use it for collective readings, it is a little more general. But it's a pretty cool deck. And I haven't used it in a long time. And I'm starting to think I'm just going to carry around all my tarot decks with me. Because why not? I only have like 3 more. This one's pretty big. I could probably get a bag. I also keep a majority of my tarot cards in Crown Royal bags because they're actually the perfect tarot bag. And I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm not buying a separate bag when I have a perfectly good bag at the right size in a variety of colors? Because they're not, I don't even use a purple one, actually. This would actually do really well in a purple bag. I would actually really like that. But it's one of the only decks I have that came in a box. The pink deck is new. I got that one as a gift, new. So I keep that one in its box because it has like the little magnetic clip, and then you open it, and it's a really nice box. So I keep that one in a box, but the rest of the ones that I carry around are in Crown Royal bags of all different colors. And I like it that way because capitalism is a disease. So what are people doing with their Crown Royal bags, and why not reuse them? Right? Like, why is Crown Royal giving us bags if we're not supposed to put tarot bags in it? That doesn't make any sense. So, I've been talking my arse off. Talking your ears off. So sorry. Let's do some tarot. I feel like I really hyped y'all up, and you're like, this better be fucking good. It'll be good. But then again, I haven't used this deck in a really long time, so I'm only hoping it'll be good. So a few things about me as a reader. I don't do spreads. I shuffle the cards until they come out and let them fall where they may. I do read reversals. So if it's in the upright, it is what it is. If it's in the reverse, it's the opposite. If it's on its side, it's neither nor. It needs to be decided. If a card is face up, it's likely what you already know. If a card is face down, it's probably what you need to know, or at least need to address. If a card falls off the table into my lap or on the floor, I put it aside and read it at the end as a future card. So I think that's my rundown. I forgot, this deck is pretty hard to shuffle. They are stiff, big cards. I kind of love huge tarot decks though. I have the large version of the Thoth deck, and it was so funny because I forgot it at work one day, but we sell used decks, and so the regular size version was there, so I borrowed it, and it was bizarre. It was bizarre. I was like, yo, I love my big fucking bulky decks. I also got these nails, as we've seen. But I fucked this pinky one up. And I don't know if it was when I was drunk or I don't know what I did. But it hurts like a motherfucker. It's lifting. Just barely lifting. But clearly the nail is also lifting. And it's extremely sensitive. It hurts really bad. Any pressure, any pull kills. So I'm trying not to fucking jack my shit up while I'm shuffling right now. We have a decent amount of cards though. I can probably stop. So at the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Cups. And at the top of the deck, we have 9 of Swords. Thank you, girly. So, I am getting a dream vibe from this, though. It's almost like you're reading into your dreams, your visions, your downloads. You're reading into it in a way that you are trying to protect yourself or perhaps protect someone else. If you have a child, you could be trying to figure out what's going on with them, trying to protect them in that way. Often 7 of Cups represents like options and choices and things like that. But I do feel like this does have a more dreamlike quality about it, where it's not necessarily options as much as it's a plethora. It's not you picking and choosing, it's you looking and reflecting. And again, there is an element of wanting to protect yourself. So, Five of Pentacles. I'm guessing you got kind of a bad sign. And now you are a little concerned about your financial situation. And that's okay. It's probably smart to heed these warnings. I don't want to stress you out. I'm not telling you you're going bankrupt or anything. But if you are feeling a little concerned about money, if you're trying to tighten your budget, you're trying to cut expenses, and I think that is a wise choice. As bad as that sounds. Doesn't sound good, but it is what it is. You need to be a little more protective of your assets. If you are going maybe through a divorce, you need to be even more protective of your assets. I'm not totally getting that anybody's going through divorce, but that would be a great example of needing to figure that shit out, you know? So, yeah. I don't see financial ruin. I see financial insecurity. And there's so many steps in between those that you can't let it get to you too much, and you can't like overthink it and tell yourself I'm broke, I need to stop spending money, da 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 da. But you can say, you know what, I'm gonna quit smoking. I'm gonna make coffee at home. And of course, I sound like a boomer giving advice to millennials on how to buy a house. That's not the point. This is to have extra money at the end of the month, where you do have to budget better. But it is going to be the little things that add up. It's not like, oh, I'm going to drop out of school because I can't afford tuition. No, you're going to apply for a fucking scholarship. You're going to go to school. Don't fuck around. Again, not financial ruin. I don't think it's like a job loss. It's just maybe you moved and rent got higher and your job is not paying you more, and you maybe asked for a raise. You're probably not going to get the raise. It's very stagnant energy. Probably not going to change. So you have to make with what's due. You know? We got this nice juicy pile here. Starting with, sorry, I always forget to show people the cards. I'm so used to having people in front of me. That I forget to show the cards. This one's very beautiful. That's why I thought to show you. She's a beauty. So we have the sun. Of course, Leo is ruled by the sun, but the sun does not represent Leo in tarot. So the sun is definitely your future being bright. I think this is a good time even to chase your dreams. Again, it's about budgeting. It's like, okay, I really want to pursue this dream. I want to start my own business. I want to invest in something. How am I going to do it? You're going to do it by fixing your financial world. You're going to make extra money. You're going to take the extra shift. You're going to cut down on the spending. You're going to do all these things. And that's how you're going to be able to do it. Because it will be successful, whatever it is that you're trying to do. It just probably won't be successful right away. And so you have to learn to not give up as quickly as you ordinarily would. Be honest with yourself. I'm dedicated, I'm driven, I got this. I'm always starting new projects. But are you finishing them? You have to follow through on this one. And you're going to have to really hunker down. Winter's a great time for that. If your friends invite you out, you want to go to the club and it has a cover, say no. They want to go out to the bar, say no. Hey man, you don't have to tell them it's about money, because then they'll say, oh, I'll just pay for you. But then you know what? You're going to end up buying around, and you're going to end up tipping on the drinks they buy, and you're going to end up having a snack. Don't do it. Hey, you want to go out tonight? Actually, I was thinking about staying in, but if you want to bring over a bottle, we can chill here, and you can stay the night, and we'll have a good time. We can walk around, whatever. Hey, do you want to grab dinner? You know, I don't really have time for dinner, but we could totally get a coffee. It's that kind of thing, you know? You don't have to admit defeat. You don't have to say what you're doing. You just have to make the changes subtly and assuredly. I don't know if that's a word. But you do have to hunker down, and it's going to be challenging. I actually think that there's going to be this is the Four of Swords, right? And the Four of Swords often is kind of like keep you up at night energy. But here, what I'm getting is that there's going to be external forces that try to pull you out of this isolation, if you will, where it's not a depressive isolation, it's not a lonely isolation, it's not a bad isolation, it's you trying to follow through on whatever it is that you're starting. So you got to stay focused, and you have to change the language in which you speak, so that instead of refuting, turning down, rejecting, you want to avoid saying, I can't, I don't want to, not now. You don't want to use negative terms. You want to give an alternative. That's cool. Instead, can we? You know what I would rather do? Is it all right with you if? Language. It's underestimated when it comes to manifesting. People are really into rituals and spells and writing things down, but how are you speaking? You know? Are you using the language of the defeated? When really you need to be talking yourself up and having a defense against whatever comes your way. I'm not saying get defensive. I'm like, you're on defense. You know, someone throws the ball. Oh, I gotta throw it back, instead of dribbling and moving around the court and trying to shoot and looking to who to pass it to. You gotta quick, boom, 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 boom. You know? We got Queen of Wands. You also have to feel good about what you're doing. You have to be very confident in what you're doing. You have to rock that confidence all the time. Dress better, smell better, feel better, eat better, think better, speak better. That's what we were just talking about. Speak better. You have to up your confidence and also stay in control of your emotions. You can't get angry when people don't respect your boundaries. You can't get frustrated when people question your vision. You can't explode when someone disagrees with you. Horrible example, by the way. I just said can't and don't and won't, right? My bad. I'm working on it too. My ex taught me to avoid using words like that. And after we broke up, I didn't have someone checking me, and I didn't have the constant reminder to speak that way, and I totally fell out of the habit. And I only think to get back in the habit when I'm streaming and I remember, like, oh yeah, that's right. But it's something I'm trying to do full time like I used to. So we're working on it together. You have to be in total control of yourself and feel good at the same time. You don't want to be like dull necessarily. You want to still have fun and still be yourself, but just an elevated version of you. We have the Hermit. The Hermit is a spider, but the Hermit is Virgo. And I think, yeah, we're still in Virgo season. So this is stuff that could be transpiring right now, but it's also going back to the isolation, the withdrawal, the self-reliance, the independence, doing things for yourself. It's kind of what we've been talking about this whole reading already. So you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel unsupported. You're going to feel different. You're going to feel like people are talking about you. You're going to feel like you've changed for the better, but other people don't see it that way. They see it differently. They see it as a negative. They see it as you being too good for them and you thinking you're better than everyone. And that's not the case. You're being better for yourself. You want this thing so bad that you are going to stop at nothing to get it. Right? Right? We also have the moon. The moon is Pisces. So we might be looking at a timeline from now until February. Great time to hunker down, cut back, build up. Great time. Winter. You know, Pisces season goes till March. It could be March. And then spring's right around the corner. I think the first day of spring is March 21st, right? Aries season marks the beginning of the year. So from now until the end of the year, I'm not talking Gregor's calendar, I'm talking about the real new year, when the zodiac starts over, when the world rebirths itself, the real new year, spring. By that time, you're going to be implementing these ideals. You might be losing friends. You might be feeling distant, but you're going to get to where you want to be because you committed to it, because you put in the effort, because you saved some money, because you invested your time, because you changed the way you speak, because you switched up your schedule, because you declined the needless offers. It's going to be a very quiet but fruitful time now until spring. And guess what? King of Pentacles. The payoff. This is very dependent on you, though. This is not like, okay, I'm just going to exist and then I'm going to make money. Perfect. No. We already went over a list of things that you need to do in order to make this happen. You have to actually stick to the list. Again, it comes with a physical confidence as well. Like I said, dressing better, smelling better, eating better, all that. A physical change, right? Physical change. Staying active, you know? King of Wands. Very heroic, very passionate. Could be somebody coming in if you are not currently in a romantic partnership. But I do feel like things are going to be going so well for you that you expect too much out of this person. If you are already with them, you might be thinking like, oh, everything's going good, I'm making money, I did this and I followed my dreams and now I'm ready to get married and settle down and have a family and buy a house. And da 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 da. Feeling that passion, feeling the love, feeling the chemistry, the connection. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be very disappointed. That ain't gonna happen like that. It could be a timeline issue for sure, where this person's not ready or it's not logistical or whatever. But if it's a new person, they are simply not your person. And when you finally meet them, you're gonna probably think they are, because the connection is fire. And this is your dream person, your dream lover, your dream connection. It's not really though. It's not really though. Kind of sucks. I don't think you'll be let down easy. I think you'll probably be let on. And it'll just be disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Sucks. 9 of Wands. You're going to get real defensive about it. And it's going to be very easy to get back into old habits of speaking negatively, getting angry, blowing up, doing all the things that we literally just talked about not doing. Right? Just talked about not doing those things anymore. So, what can you do? You gotta keep doing. You gotta stick to the plan. Just because you finish something doesn't mean you have to start over. You have a new starting point, right? You keep going. You don't go back. So you're cruising along, you're building your confidence, you're building your business, you're making changes, you're putting in the time and effort and all this stuff. And then something bad happens. And you're gonna be really fucking tempted to say, fuck this shit, it didn't work out, this isn't happening, this was fucking pointless, I'm so fucking stupid. And you're gonna wanna do that so bad. So bad. So bad. Try to resist that temptation of going backwards and getting into the old self. Okay, so we got some cards on their side and face down. So let's see what we have no idea what's going on. 8 of Swords. I think that you want something to break up the routine. You want someone to come along and fix it. And you want someone to do the work with you, not necessarily for you. But you also kind of know it's not going to happen that way. So you have mixed feelings about it. The Wheel of Fortune, you are not convinced that this is going to work out. There's no real loss to be had, but you are yet to be fully convinced that it will be worth it in the end. The World, oh my god, oh sorry, I'm supposed to be showing you the cards. Again, I think this card is very beautiful, and that's why I thought about it. The World, you just feel like the odds are stacked against you. And on one hand, you feel like it could work out. On the other hand, you're questioning if it will. And that's not a fun place to be. It's really not. The Hierophant, Taurus. The Hierophant does very much represent tradition. He's very traditional, even religious. Just likes to do what he's told, you know? So, in a way, you're like, I don't know if you're kind of thinking, will I ever have what other people have? Am I ever going to get to the point where I can keep up with the Joneses and with what other people have going on? And what path am I going to walk down? Am I going to do what makes people happy, or am I going to do what makes me happy? Am I going to do what helps me fit in, or am I going to accept that I stand out? And it's very much a crossroads in that way. And the Knight of Cups. So if you are estranged or don't know your father or the father of your children, then I would think it's about him. If you have your father with you and you don't have children, I would think it's a question of whether or not you will have them, which can go along with the traditional bullshit, right? So, yeah, very much in question. You're very much in limbo. You also need to decide truly what you want before you set your mind to it. So take the this last week of Virgo season to hammer it out, nail it down, and then commit. And by spring, you will have gotten somewhere, truly. And in the future position, we have the Seven of Wands face down. Let's put it this way, though. Okay. People tend to tell me that I'm very wise and very knowledgeable, and I am really good at what I do, and they learn so much from me, okay? You want that. You want to be that person. You want that connection. Say you are trying to find a career path and you're a little unsure of what you want and you're kind of unhappy at your job and you've always thought about being a teacher, like in school. Maybe you already have kids and you're like, do I homeschool them? That kind of thing. Something about teaching, about leading, about being in charge, not being in control. We gotta relinquish control. We can still be in charge without the grip of control. You know what I mean? So that's that. I know I talked about doing another deck, but nobody picked one, and you said do what you feel, and it's late. So I'm probably gonna go. Sorry. I have been streaming for like 2 hours, which is pretty good for someone who doesn't stream a lot. So thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to the lurkers. Thank you to the chatters. Thank you for the people who accepted my love and support through the tarot. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. I had a really fun time. But I gotta go. Because I have to pee real bad. And my bed is calling my name. I got stuff to do tomorrow. So we're gonna call it a night. And I don't think I'm gonna finish my book. I think I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow to finish my book. I think I'm just gonna watch my stupid show. Anyway, it's been real. I don't know when I'll be back, unfortunately. Maybe sometime this week, maybe next week. I wish I still streamed every night. It was so much fun. We had a good time. I actually had subscribers. It was awesome. Things are different now. It's my fault for taking a break. It's my fault for not accommodating. It's my fault. But I still miss it. I miss you guys. Hope we can make new friends again. Hope to see you soon. I love you. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whatever it is to you. I wish it to be well. Good luck with everything. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Where's my mouse? Oh, it's frozen. Oh, here we go. Okay. Love you.